Welcome to Hadley Point Campground. May I please take your reservation? So what I'm going to do here is what I like to do. We actually just spent some time here at the Hadley Point Campground in Bar Harbor, Maine. And what I like to do, I kind of get a kick out of some of this stuff. I like to go to the reviews and look up some of their poorest reviews and see whether some of these people are legit or not. This first one here is giving how many of the, I guess this is the, I'm going to the lowest rating for Hadley Point Campground. This campground implemented a $25 fee for electric vehicles, in addition to the regular camping fee of $62 for a 30 amp, 50 amp site. This service is completely unfair. $85 to camp for a night because you have an EV. When a big rig can camp and use both the 30-50 amp service, this seems completely unfair. I canceled my reservation as the fee is not implemented when I first booked. I attempted to have a conversation with the owner, whom passed on me to their staff to say the new policy was firm. This was quite disappointing. I cannot recommend this campground. Now, okay. So, I guess it's really not a critique on the campground in general. It's a critique on the fees that they're charging. So that's sometimes why, like, whether you read a bad review on Amazon, or read a bad review here, or read a bad review on Google, when you start reading through the muck and the mire, sometimes the bad review has no reflection on the product line at all. This person's complaining about a $25 surcharge for an electric vehicle. Okay, now this is my other side of the point that tends to befuddle me about some of these people. Okay, you just bought an electric vehicle, which in my mind is kind of like, I know we've got some of these people that go way crazy over environmentalism, but in my mind, an electric vehicle is a novelty. If you can afford an electric vehicle, don't you think you can afford the $25 surcharge for the night? I mean, it kind of reminds me of one of these times where we posted something on one of these online marketplaces, whether it's Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or whatever these platforms are that you can post things for sale. And I've had this happen to me more than once, to where somebody is trying to wheel and deal the price by $10, $15, or $20. And it's like, are you really saving that much by whittling me down by $10, $12, or $15, whatever the price might be? In one of these particular situations, well, I should say, yeah, one of these particular situations, because I've had it happen more than once, is sure enough, the person that was wheeling and dealing me to try and get an extra $20 off the price, what do? They come rolling up the street in one of these high-end SUVs, and it's like, you're wheeling and dealing the price, but you've got this big, huge, glorified, gigantic SUV, you know, which in my mind is implying that, oh, they've got all this money in the world, but yet they're going to nickel and dime you for 20 bucks. Or it could be the payment for that brand new SUV is so high that they need the 20 bucks for the payment rather than from what I'm selling to them. Okay, next review for Hadley Point Campground. There will be an additional $3 for the reservation. There will be an additional $3 for the reservation. I don't know if there's an echo in this person's review, but they listed it twice. There are many places where Wi-Fi not working at all. The shower is messy, and there are a lot of mosquitoes outside. There are many places where the Wi-Fi is not working at all. The shower is messy, and there are a lot of mosquitoes outside. So I guess there's an echo in that paragraph too. I didn't, well, my wife booked it, so I have no idea about a reservation fee. I didn't use their Wi-Fi because I just used the data package on my mobile device. The shower is messy. We stayed in cabin 10 where there's a private shower, so that wasn't an issue for us. And there are a lot of mosquitoes outside. You're camping. There's going to be bugs. There's going to be, you're camping. There's not all the luxuries of home here. So, again, here's another review that's like, it's not really a review of their services. It's more of like just a griping review. Okay, let's scroll some more. And why is my scroll not working? Here we go. I had gotten to the campground here for 3 nights, but only ended up staying 2. I had a family emergency. My father was in surgery. I live over 800 miles away, so I had to leave early. I figured since it's a family-owned campground, then they would be understanding of family emergencies and empathetic, but when I asked for a refund for the 1 night I couldn't stay, I checked out at 8 a.m. sharp. They told me no. It turns out they're just as greedy as any other business. If you go here, it's really nice, but if you have an emergency, don't even think that they will be empathetic to you. See, again, in my mind, that's kind of a non-issue. I mean, realistically, unless you're staying at a cabin, which I think it was $125 a night where we stayed at our cabin. I don't know what this person was paying. It doesn't say. But again, this is kind of like not really a reflection on the campground. They're just griping. What's the next one? We had a reservation we tried canceling, but no one pick up the phone, and the voicemail box was full. When we finally got a hold of someone, they were extremely rude and wouldn't give us our $100 deposit back, since it was within 7 days of our reservation. Taken in my mind, I would just write off the $100 and call it a day. I mean, life happens too. What's the next poor review? They had very poor communication skills. We thought we reserved a certain site, but ended up being in a field on a bank. Totally not what we reserved. Seemed dangerous for our motorhome, so we left after talking to the office and nothing else available. Owners were supposed to call, but did not. I cannot recommend this place. People were rude and only see things one way. There are other options. Use them. So again, another complaining, we had a reservation for this weekend and had to cancel because a group member tested positive for the coronavirus. They were willing to refund $1.50 despite the circumstances. Very disappointed with this customer service. Willing to refund $1.50? Or is that or did they mean to write 150? I don't know what that one was. Okay, scroll option. Let's scroll again. Horrible place to stay. Bathrooms are few and atrocious. Campsites are small and close to each other. Price is okay if you do not have anywhere else to stay like me. Horrible. Bathrooms are few and atrocious. When we were there was one main bathhouse that was like, it seemed like it was brand spanking new. I didn't even bother to go into the other ones. And in our case, we were in cabin tents. We had our own private bathroom, so it wasn't something like this would have been a non-issue for us. And I would agree that the campsites are small. Or even the location for cabin 10 I thought was a little... Where's my scroll feature? Here's my scroll feature. If I could put 0 stars, I would. Owner is rude and is on a power trip. Don't waste your time and money. Well, that's somebody that's just griping. Oh. Here's another one about the EV stuff. If you have an EV camper, their extra $25 fee might not be worth it over other options. I booked before they changed the policy and sent the email saying that they no longer had the option to book a NP campground, whatever an NP campground is, and felt literally hunted throughout... Felt literally hunted throughout my stay by them to try to tack it on my bill retroactively. Thankfully, we escaped, and rightfully so. They didn't have a chance to try or execute the bait and switch. Have an uncomfortable conversation, etc. But they tried a couple times, whether it was ambushing out my girlfriend on her way to the camp office one time. She heard call on nearby golf cart radio and turned around back to the car immediately. Or in the dark, when I was going to the bathroom, I got asked by the car's blinking green light by the staff member in golf cart. Yep, it's got a security system. If you are somebody charging up a full-size EV tow rig sometime in the future, $25 might be fair, but not for a smaller car that you're using a tent to camp with. Otherwise, stay. The stay was okay. Shower passable, coin operated. Didn't take advantage of other amenities. Again, in my mind, somebody's kind of just griping here. Why is it not scrolling for me? But yeah, I'll admit that some of their sites are small, and I'll give you an example. This is our location where we stayed.
No, stop it, Dylan. Okay.
And as you can see, where the yellow bike is, that's the fire pit, and then the road is right over here. Well, let me use the cursor instead. It might be smarter to use the cursor. So this is the fire pit where most people congregate in the evening while they're camping, and then this is the road. Thankfully, in this particular situation, one caveat was this was a one-way road. The cars start coming from this direction and come down through here. So it's a one-way. And cabin 10 is kind of off the beaten path on Hadley Point Campground. So we would literally get maybe a dozen cars a day that would come through here. But I will admit, you're literally only 7 or 8 paces from an active road. One of the very first campsites I've ever seen that is quite that close. But again, for us, we're in a cabin. So yeah, we would congregate by the fire over here in the evening. And then after everybody wants to head in and go sleeping, you walk into, okay, there's the road, like I just said. That's the road right there. And when we wanted to retire for the evening, we would just go into this door. Actually, you can see my wife and I's queen-size bed right there. there are bunk beds here for the kids. And then what we did in our particular situation was we had a blow-up mattress for this little guy sitting in the burley here. Let's rewind that. The little guy sitting in the burley slept on an air mattress on the other side of the bed, right over here behind this wall. So yeah, I would definitely admit that their sites are on the smaller side, but they do have a brand new updated bathhouse. They've got commodes on one side, laundry in the middle, showers on the other side. And then their store is brand new too. So they did just go through some renovations and upgrades. But I mean, for the price you're getting, the fact that we had a private bath, it was coin operated for 50 cents for 7 minutes, which for the way I shower is no problem at all. Let's reduce that down and come back to the review page. So I think I'm going to end that there. You know, overall, again, well, maybe on the other side of the coin, out of 500 reviews, they have 4.4 stars. So not a horrible place to stay. And again, I looked up some of the more weaker reviews, and then you kind of find out that it's really not about the campsite itself. People just like to gripe. I mean, that's, in my humble opinion, people are wired to bitch. And that's the last thing I'm saying for this video.